What's up, everyone? Welcome, episode 12, Meet the Press podcast. I am your host, Tyler Dixon. My co host, as always, Jared McDonald. Jared, happy Memorial Day weekend. You said you were off today, right?
I was off today. Yeah, we didn't print a
Nice.
Monday paper, so I didn't have to sit in the office and design. I do tomorrow though, because we've got people out covering high school baseball games and,
Mhm.
and all that kind of stuff. So need to fill in a little bit, but we finally hit summer. I think things are starting to slow down a little bit, and I'm trying to enjoy it as much as possible before football season kicks back up.
I mean, we had some perfect weather over here. Like, I know I went over for a Memorial Day party at one of my parents' friends in Illinois, and I saw several people out on their bikes. I mean, this was perfect, like peak bike weather today. I'm assuming you
My bike
didn't.
is uh, not running right now, so
Oh,
that's a little bit of a sore subject for me.
no. I picked up on that. Considering I
Yeah,
don't think we've talked about it. Have
nope.
we? Have we? And I
I
just
have
didn't
not.
make.
I'm not. No, I don't think we have. I've been
Okay.
avoiding that conversation with everybody. That's why it hasn't been up on my Snapchat story or Instagram or whatever social
Oh,
media. So,
yeah.
but it was also rainy most of the week too. I was out covering high school baseball, filling in there,
I know a
dealing with
lot of it got
those
pushed back.
couple hour rain delays. Well, one was a couple hour rain delay. Another one was like half hour, 45 minutes, which wasn't as bad, but it still was like, what's my schedule going to be this week? Because you will play these games whenever we can play them. So I got back to my roots with the high school sports.
I mean, I feel like that's always fun, and I know for somebody like you and like our friend Josh Moore over at the Herald Leader, that's something that you guys don't get to experience as often. I know because Josh covering UK football, I know he talked about covering track or something like that, or tennis, I think, in our group. And I think that's something interesting that it is like coming kind of back for you guys because both of you guys started on the prep beat. How is that coming back to that after covering Division One high level athletics for so long?
It's a little weird. It's a lot different, I would say.
Right, right, right.
Everybody thinks like as you move up, it's because it gets harder. But covering I cover Western Kentucky Division One college. It's easy to cover games. You don't have to keep stats. You don't have to
Oh
write
man,
down what
yeah.
happened in a game. I mean, I keep notes and stuff. I'll live tweet and I'll look back at tweets and stuff. But high school games, especially like high school football, high school baseball and softball is not as bad because of the pace of the game. It's not as fast. But trying to keep up with stats and like football and basketball sometimes it's tough.
Oh yeah. Like I mean, I remember because I've worked at sports departments that were me and one other person, or I was a one person show, walking up and down a football sideline with a camera on one shoulder, a clipboard, like, okay, third rush, he's got 12 yards. Fourth rush, he's got 15 yards. Like literally keeping stats as I go, tweeting big plays in the drive and then tweeting touchdowns and then going back, and luckily my tweets were my like drive logs for my story at the end. And I mean, you're doing all these things and you're like, oh man, I need to go that next level. And you're covering like a college game. I mean, I've covered stuff at Murray State. Whenever I covered college at SIU, I mean, heck man, you know, you cover a basketball game at Western, every media timeout, somebody runs over stats to you.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
it's
great.
super easy. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and I mean, you have them fed to you live on your computer screen throughout the
Mm-hmm.
entire game too. It gives you like little on stat broadcast at least, which is what most college
Right.
programs use these days. It gives you like trends, like this team has made
Right,
11 of its
right, right.
last 12 field goals, or this team has turned the ball over 3 times in the last 438, or
The
just random
scoring
stuff like
droughts.
that.
It's
So it's
great.
like
Yeah, it's
it,
awesome.
yeah, it's. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it because you want to like stay up on the day to day stuff. Whereas high school, you cover. How many did you cover in Hoptown?
How many high schools?
Yeah, yeah,
6,
yeah. So you can't really
7.
stay up on everything that's going on
Oh
day to
yeah.
day with every sport there. Yeah, like we cover. It was 13 when I got here. FCA, small private school, is now KHSA affiliated, so that makes it 14. They don't have every sport. Not
I
every
covered
school has every
15.
sport, but
Me and one other person covered 15 when I lived in Central Illinois.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Back when I worked in Maysville, right out of college was really tough just because of where Maysville, Kentucky is located. It's right
Mhm.
along the Ohio River. We're not quite northern Kentucky, not quite northeastern Kentucky. So we had teams in, broken down in the 10th region here, the
Right,
16th
right.
region here, different districts for pretty much all of them. And then we also had 6 schools that we covered in Ohio, and
Mhm.
they somehow all seemed to be in different classes and divisions and everything else. So when tournament time came around and I had to print off all the brackets, it would be like an entire stack of paper.
That's one thing I kind of miss is like the simplicity of I feel like Kentucky postseasons. But then you throw in the fact that you lose a district championship, you move on.
That's a
Whatever.
story for another day.
Yeah, that's a whole thing for another day. Talking about stats, I thought it was interesting. I'm a Cardinals fan. I was watching the Cardinals play on Apple TV the other day, and on the bottom right hand corner of the game of the screen, it had like percentage to get a hit, percentage to get an RBI, and it would have like random things like, hey, his percentage to ground into a double play is like 20%. And I thought that was like, because I'm a stat person, I thought that was cool seeing that on there. Um, we talked about one before we came on, the because baseball stats are getting ridiculous right now with the BIP. We talked about batting average for balls in play. My grandpa has called me before and was like, "Oh, what does not whip, but it was something like WAR or something when WAR was just starting to become a thing."
Yeah.
Um, you never think that. I think we should actually have like a WAR category. Like, what's your like ferocity on the field? Like,
You got
all,
that dog in you?
like you got that dog in you. Like, obviously, guys like Jose Batista. Who's that? Who's got the guy from Texas?
Oh, Ronette Odor?
Yeah,
Is that it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. With that knocked him
The,
out, and
the
then we
punch.
have.
Pedro Martinez and Don Zimmer back in
Oh
04?
yeah,
Yeah, that was a
I
good
think
one
so.
with
Yep,
A-Rod and Bronson Arroyo in
that
that
was a fun
whole
one.
situation.
And then you have former Cardinal Tommy Pham. I saw one headline that said Tommy Pham, Will Smith, Jock Peterson.
It's the
But
year of the
yes,
slap.
Tommy Pham. It is the year of the slap. Tommy Pham slapped Jock Peterson, who from like throughout his career, I feel like we've often heard Jock Peterson is one of the nice guys.
He seems like a guy that would joke around. And I feel
Right.
like that's probably what he was doing in this situation. I think
So
that's what he said he was doing in this
you know the
situation.
backstory here.
Yeah. So Tommy Pham has recently been suspended, also fined because of an event that happened Friday, I believe, when the Giants went to Cincinnati. It was a dispute coming back from an old fantasy football thing. They were in the same league together. Apparently, they didn't like what was done and what had been said in a group chat, and so Tommy Pham slapped Jock Peterson when they were in the outfield before the game. And then I think the game actually ended up getting delayed, and it was just a whole thing over fantasy football. Have you ever slapped anybody over fantasy football?
I don't think it's ever come to physical violence.
You had to think about that for a little while.
I just I have thrown hypothetical punches in fantasy football because I'm a trash talker. Like I know most of the people
What the
know
hell is
I
a hypothetical punch?
like I've maybe hypothetical is not the word I'm looking for, but
You've thought about it?
I've thought yeah, I've thought about it. Yeah,
Okay.
there are guys that I've been in leagues with where I've hated like then like I just have strongly disliked um and oh man, I would love to do that. But no, but I am a trash talker as we know. So
Yeah. See, I've never played fantasy football, and I've also never been in a fight, which
wait.
it may
Whoa.
surprise some people. I've never been in a fight just looking at me and my appearance
No.
because I'm
I
very
I think
intimidating and tough.
Yes. You've never played fantasy football?
Never played fantasy anything.
How's that possible?
Oh
Have you ever played fantasy anything?
no, no, never done that like single day DraftKings, whatever it was that was popular back in the day.
Like the daily fantasy stuff?
Yeah, no, never done that. I've never been in a fantasy football league. I don't really get to watch enough because I'm always traveling or designing pages on Sundays too. So it's, I mean,
Interesting.
I do it for work and keep up a
I mean,
little
you do
bit,
pick 'em, so like,
but that's a little different though.
I
I,
mean,
I put
yes.
I put very little effort into that.
Oh, don't tell them that, man. Don't tell them how little we put into the pick'ems every single
Oh, when
week.
I first got here 3 years ago now, I was researching every little thing because the way we do it at the Daily News is typically it changes sometimes on the week depending on games. 6 high school games, 3 college games, Western Kentucky, Kentucky, and Louisville, and then the Titans. And then we might mix it up if there's another big game or anything like that.
Right.
I was researching everything and I was terrible. My issue is I'm always like, this team could beat this team. And that would be my chance.
Could.
Yeah,
Right,
and that
right,
could be my
right.
chance to move up in the standings. And I
Right.
always moved down. But I won it this year because I just listened to my heart,
Who all is it? It's you, Compton, Jeff.
Jeff. And then it was Elliot my first year,
Right.
Jordan Smith, who was a video guy with us my
Okay.
second year, and then John Reeser, who was a news reporter with us
Oh,
last year.
yeah.
So
Love
and he
John.
just left, so we're gonna need another one if we want to keep the same graphic and just change the headshot.
I know I've told you this, and it was a fun fact when I told you, but it's going to be another fun fact now. I've never officially met Jeff,
That's not surprising. He's in the office most of the time.
but in all the times that I've been in your office, like whenever I used to go over, whenever I was friends with Elliot in the beginning, like Jeff was never, because I would always sit at Jeff's desk,
Yeah.
and I just always thought that was weird. That, I mean, we were both sports editors an hour away, and we never came in contact with each other.
Yeah. But I also never went to Hopkinsville that much either.
That's true.
When I
That's
was
true.
reporting and stuff, I think I went to Stadium of Champions once, and I bought a motorcycle helmet there another time. And that's all. That's my.
Oh, is that where you
Hopkinsville
got your
experience.
motorcycle helmet?
Yep.
Okay. At the Indian dealer outside of town?
Yep.
Yep.
I wanted to look at some things and decide I didn't want to spend that much and be a cheapo.
And you did.
Yep. And now it's not running, so.
Do you
See.
do you like put your helmet on to walk around your house?
No. I was mad when I got back because I wasn't that far when it stopped working. And so I limped it back, parked it, put the side stand down, took off my helmet, and just tossed it. It's
Oh,
nice
and then
say
you-
it into the yard, and then it snapped the visor off. So
Right.
I
So
fixed
now
it.
you're gonna get, oh, so you fixed that. So now you won't get like
fixed it.
bugs in your face.
Right.
Is that like a huge thing?
Sometimes when I
Okay.
go down to like Logan County on it, I always seem to get them.
I could see there being a lot of bugs in Logan County.
Yeah. In town,
Yeah.
not really. Unless I just cleaned it, then.
So you didn't have time to ride. I mean, you I'm sorry. You didn't ride this weekend during the nice weather. Does that mean, I know Stranger Things came out. Are you a Stranger Things person? Like, are you
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, big Stranger Things guy.
Okay. I haven't
part of
watched
that
it yet.
following.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, no, you need to get caught up.
Okay.
The end of that first episode, it's like
But they put them all out at
Man.
once, right?
they put out 7, I believe, and then there's
Okay.
2 final ones coming out at the beginning of July.
Okay.
But man, I was hooked. I don't think they had a season out in 3 years. I didn't realize it had been that long. And then I watched like most of it in a single sitting. So
Yeah, I went back to, I'm on season 3 right now because I'm trying to like watch and like catch myself up on certain things. But yeah, I'm also watching the show that you told me to watch,
which one was that?
Working Moms.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't say it was good. It's fine.
That is 100% accurate. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think it tries to be. Have you seen Good Girls with
Yes.
Christina? I think it tries to be that, and it's not,
Yeah, I can see that.
because I love Christina Hendricks, and I love the other woman that's on there because she was Donna on Parks and Rec.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know any of
Um,
their names, to be honest with you.
yeah, I'm sorry, it's okay.
I didn't even remember the name of the show until you said it.
But I feel like that's what it kind of like tries to be, and it's not. But you're right, it's fine. There are parts that I've been very frustrated with, but anyway, Stranger Things. How was it? How was it?
It was good, but it's hard to say because it's not over yet, and I hate
Oh, I
that
guess
now
that's
they're doing
true.
all of these like 2-part season launches. I mean,
Yeah,
it was very good. It You had to wait a long time for it though, and I like to binge
it's
watch
true.
my shows because I like to watch one show until I'm done with all of it that is out, and then start another show. I don't mix and match shows. I don't know how you go about your watching,
Yeah, I jump
but
about.
no, I'm committed. I'm a very committed man. I'm a one show
There,
guy.
there are millions of things going on in my head. I can't watch. I mean, there are like mindless shows that I have, and then there are other shows that I'm watching. Like right now, I'm watching The Offer, which is on Paramount. It's about like the making of The Godfather.
Okay.
On Hulu, I'm watching Under the Banner of Heaven, that is about a murder, a double murder in the LDS Church. And I think that's it. And then Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But
No,
those are the like main things I'm watching right now.
I've binged through a lot of seasons lately. I just did Stranger Things. I did the new Working Moms. I did Ozark about a week or two after that came out
I'm
because I
not
was
all
busy
in.
with work
I'm
stuff.
not all done with Ozark yet.
I don't know if I liked how it ended. That could be a discussion people can comment to us about if they are doing that.
Sidebar: did you ever see Gone Girl?
Yes.
It
I
was
think I have
filmed.
the book.
It was filmed in Cape.
Seriously?
Yeah, yeah. My brother and I have been to the bar. Have had a drink at the bar.
That's pretty cool.
Now it's like a French restaurant now.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
There's not
like
that
so
many
like
books that take place in Maine that are not Stephen King.
yeah. I
See,
guess
just in Maine in general, you have Cape, you've got St. Louis all up in there.
I mean
You got bigger places.
you're watching Ozark.
Yeah, exactly. But that's there. Like I look at where I'm from and try to find cool places that like movies and TV shows are set in.
I
Every once
mean,
in a while, we'll get a country song reference.
you can claim
But
New England, like all of New England, can't you? Are you New England technically?
yeah, we're New England,
Okay.
but
Was that a dumb question?
a little bit.
Because I don't
We sang the 16 counties in Maine last week, but this can just be a whole geography
like I don't
section that we do
I
every
don't
week.
I don't always think of like New England going all the way up to. I feel like it looks like a nose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Right?
just put a mhm.
Okay.
I just put a warhead in my mouth. I found them the other day. I forgot how sour they are. Have you?
I saw a warhead wrapper in our weight room the other day, and I didn't know they still made warheads.
Neither did I. I was in this party store the other day, and it was like all the old party stuff. You know, like the little soldier with the parachute.
Of course, I had a little soldier with a parachute.
I didn't know
Of
they
course I
still
did.
made those. I don't know who gives those to kids. I thought they just handed out iPads at birthday parties or something. But no, they had like 25. No, they were 10-cent warheads. And so I was like, I'm gonna spend $1 and get me some warheads.
What birthday parties were you going to?
No, like I I thought these were birthday parties when I was young. They had the little parachute army man
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the little frog that
Are you
pops
saying
up.
now they
I
give
thought
iPads?
that's what I thought. I don't know what the parents and the kids do these days.
I don't think they give away iPads like that.
No.
I don't think they Oprah those things. Like, you get an iPad, you get an iPad. I don't think they do that. But I don't know.
I didn't. Like, that was nostalgia right there for me. Like seeing all that. Airheads too. They had those.
Those are good.
Yeah.
I
It was. It was wild.
I would fall down those rabbit holes during like the pandemic of on TikTok. Part of the reason why I had to give it up for Lent. Of like the guys that just like the groups that just sell candy, like old candy, and they have like candy stores,
Oh yeah.
and they like pack your order, like you send them your order and they'll pack your order and stuff. I always thought that was cool. And then like they
Yeah.
have like the old candies and yeah, it is. It's
Yep.
nostalgia. Like you said, it's like whenever I go home to the grocery store that's in my hometown, like I'll get I don't know, sometimes I'll get like a honey bun and like a peach knee high. And like for me, that's like you know what a honey bun is? Yes.
I know a honey bun. I don't know what a peach knee high is.
A peach knee high. So peach knee high is a peach soda that is I would say conservatively like 80 grams of sugar. Like it is potent and it was good. It was just like a super sugary thing.
Yeah.
Fun fact,
Everyone.
that was my first job was that grocery store.
Really?
Yeah. First
First
job
job.
at 15. 15.
Damn, you started young.
I did. It was my family's grocery store. What was your first job?
Well, I hayed a little bit.
Okay.
Like, went out in the field, threw
No, I got you.
bales, stacked them up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not. I don't know if you consider that a job or if that you consider that just like working in the summer.
Oh,
like as a
somebody
kid, it's like a
said
summer job.
sidebar, this is a good one. Somebody said they missed the watermelon taffy, Laffy Taffy with the seeds. Do you remember those?
Yes,
Yeah, I
those were
remember
good.
those too. Yeah, I remember those too. But yeah, okay, go ahead. You were a hater.
No, I would hay. I remember I was talking to Western men's basketball coach Rick Stansberry. He's from up in small town up in Meade County, and he was talking about how he grew up and how he would have to do outside jobs like that. Called himself the fastest tobacco cutter to ever come out of Meade County, and he was surprised when I said that I had thrown bales of hay before. I know what that work is like. I was like, yeah, kind of miss it a little bit some days. 'Cause, I don't know. I enjoy working outside and all that.
Wow.
But my
You
first
sucked up
like
to Rick Stansbury.
no, sucked up to the hay people. Big hay.
The hay people. The keepers of the hay. The hay police.
The barn folk.
Whatever.
No. First like job and a job setting, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a busboy at a restaurant in my town.
I worked at a
It did
Panera.
not do well.
I worked at a Panera my senior year of high school.
A Panera.
Yeah. You know what a
You have
Panera
like
is?
yes. It's
Okay.
like overpriced hospital food.
Pretty much. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a job that's like been your weirdest job besides watching sports for money?
I have two. Um, I delivered beer for a while, for a couple years for Anheuser-Busch when I was 18. Um, and then another one was during the summer, for 2 summers, I worked at a paper mill in Western Kentucky, in Wickliffe, Kentucky. Um, the Anheuser-Busch one was interesting because being under 21, I couldn't be in possession of the beer, but I could like ride on the truck. So I would like get on the truck at 5:30, 6 a.m. and ride around to the accounts in the different areas. And oh, that's true. Somebody said Firewatch. That's something that we had to do. And like it was funny. So a funny story. I graduated high school on a Sunday. I started work at River Eagle was the place on Monday. On Tuesday, we were in Advance, Missouri, in BFE of Southeast Missouri. I was in like a VFW parking lot. It was a gravel parking lot. I'm second day on the job, Billy Badass over here. Like I'm an 18-year-old. Like you ain't gonna tell me nothing. And my driver, Craig, is like, "Hey, can you bring this keg off the truck?" I was like, "Yeah, I can." take the two-wheeler over. I take the keg, big half-barrel keg, one of the big ones, pick it up off the truck. I drop it on the two-wheeler. It was a gravel parking lot, so the two-wheeler wasn't like straight. I dropped it on there. Top bar shot up, and like before I could get my face out of the way, it hit my nose and like sent my nose over here. And so at that point I knew it was bad. I knew things were not awesome. And my driver came back out and he goes, "You ever gonna bring that keg in?" And I'm like, "I think I busted my nose." And I turned around and he goes, "Oh my God." And so I finally got back to Cape, got to the doctor. He said, "So you broke your nose. You're gonna have surgery tomorrow." And I had surgery the next day. Had the little plaster cast on my nose and everything. And then I went back to work the next Tuesday on that exact same route.
Damn.
It was wild.
My most random job is probably bank teller. I was a bank teller for 3 summers, just
Interesting.
traveling around the state wherever they needed help. Whatever branch it was that had people out going on vacations in the summer. So I got to see a lot of people, meet a lot of people. I was
You were
always
you
the
were
only.
traveling teller.
I was floating is what my name.
No, that
title
doesn't
was.
sound as good. Traveling sounds better.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like a bunch of like, because I was a college kid at the time, so I'm saying grown up, like adult women that worked in the banks
Right,
around there.
right.
So
Yeah.
anytime like the little old ladies that would walk into the bank would see me, they'd be like, "Ooh, there's a boy in there now. You're a handsome one."
Right? Yeah, and because it's
So I did that, and then in college, the people that call the alumni and are like, "Hey, would you like to donate to the school?"
yeah, it's always like a foundation or something. Like
That was me. I was making those
Ooh.
phone calls.
I almost did that also. Whenever I was an undergrad.
I did not enjoy it. It was not fun. I like the people I worked with for the most part, but
You get yelled at a lot.
oh yeah. Especially because it was an all women's school up until late 90s, early 2000s, and a lot of
Okay.
them were like the older alumni we'd call from like class of 60, class of 70. And when they
Oh,
hear
and
my
then
voice on there asking for money, I
and
would
the-
get, "We don't like the direction the school went." I was like, "You can just say you hate us men."
right.
Here.
I mean, it's valid. Like in my classes, like I would have like there would be high school girls who are like, "Oh, boys are the worst," and I'm like, "They are. We are the worst."
Yeah, but I mean, the school's still open because they did it. But
Well, I guess that's true. I mean,
yeah,
survive in
but
advance, man. Adapt or die.
it was a lot of getting yelled at, so that was not that fun either. And now I get paid to travel around and watch football and eat barbecue.
That's what I always tell people. I'm like, I would get paid to go to games for free.
Yeah.
Like,
And
not
the thing is, too, like
not a
they're
bad
always like,
deal.
"Oh, you get to go to games for free," and I'm like, "Yeah," and they feed us beforehand too.
Well, okay, don't get
It's
cocky. They don't always feed you beforehand. That's a
oh man,
special thing.
Bengals games back when I was living in Maysville, they would treat us like kings there. You'd get a pregame buffet. Halftime, they had Gold Star chili. So you could either get, like the conies or the spaghetti stuff, which I don't think that should be allowed. You shouldn't put chili on spaghetti. I'm sorry for anybody that is wrong that's listening, but
do you think chili? Okay, sidebar. Do you think chili should have beans in it? Yes or no?
depends what you're doing with it.
No. No.
No, you don't think it should?
No. It shouldn't. Chili should not have beans in it.
Just put your runny meat soup on your pasta then. It's basically spicy pasta sauce. I don't think it looks good at all. I've tried it and it's not very good either, in my opinion.
Skyline chili? No,
Yeah.
like I got a
think
can
Gold Star is
once.
better than Skyline anyway, so that'll probably.
Well, I got a can of Skyline once at Schnucks, and Schnucks is a grocery store. And I took a bite and I'm like, I threw it out because I thought it was bad. It wasn't. I just didn't like it.
It was bad. Just
It was
in a different
bad. It was
sense.
bad. It was not
Yeah.
good.
Man, there are so many regional foods that are just odd.
Well, we have up near St. Louis, we have like toasted ravioli.
What is toasted ravioli?
It's ravioli that's like baked, like fried
That sounds good.
ravioli, like toasted. It's super good. Yeah, toasted ravioli is great.
Yeah.
What's
I know we've already. Go
what's
ahead.
your area? No, what's your area's food?
The lobster rolls.
I'm not a huge lobster fan. I know that's not awesome to say.
I mean, you can't get good lobster in the middle of the United States anyway.
What? What were you gonna
Yeah.
say?
Yeah. Like in Kentucky, though, we talked about the mint julep before with Brad.
Yeah,
an
and it's
episode
trash.
of the Meet the Press podcast that you can go back and listen to on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. But we didn't talk about the hot brown. That's like a big.
Oh yeah, the hot
thing.
brown or the hot brown. Yeah,
I enjoy a good hot brown every now
hot
and
brown's
again.
good.
It's heavy.
It's heavy. I feel like you got to do the sauce right.
Yeah.
But I mean, you go through. I mean, bread good, turkey good, bacon good, tomato got to be good, and then you got some sauce and fry that thing up, heat that thing up. Up in Springfield, Illinois, the Horseshoe. You ever had a Horseshoe?
No, what's that?
It's like an open face thing. Like you have like a burger and fries, and then like you have like cheese like all over it. Like so you have like a burger patty, fries, and cheese, and they call it like a Horseshoe.
That sounds good.
It's awesome.
I forgot about Maine. Maine is also big on whoopie pies. Do you know what a whoopie pie is?
I have heard of a whoopie pie before.
Yeah, it's like the two like chocolate cake, classic whoopie pie, 2 chocolate cakes with like a frosting or whatever in between to make a sandwich.
Yeah.
The town next to mine has a whole festival devoted to whoopie pies. And there's like different vendors selling them and music and everything. And also the red hot dog. It's just a hot dog with a red casing. It's got some snap to it.
I was gonna say it's got some snap.
Yeah, you can't find them outside of Maine really. So, but my hometown has a red hot dog festival. You know, they've got a 5K, the bun run, and just a bunch of stuff.
That pisses me off.
That they call it the bun run.
That they call it the bun run.
Oh man, I almost said it when we were talking about stats earlier to bring this thing full circle. Do you have a favorite sports stat? Could be any stat. Not like a specific, like this player hit this, but just like batting average or field goal percentage. If you don't, I can tell you mine.
Okay, yeah, tell me yours.
It's the HDB per minute. Hot dog and bun per minute. The Nathan's famous hot dog.
Yeah, hot dog, yeah, my God, yeah, hot dog bun per minute. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very useful stat. More useful than the BIP.
BIP.
Yeah.
BIP.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I don't know what my favorite stat would be. That's tough. That is tough. I'm gonna have to think on that for a week because there's so many stats out there.
Too many. It seems like they're all big for a little while, then we kind of forget about it.
Then we kind of forget about them.
We don't hear about WAR that much anymore. You mentioned that earlier.
Now, like plus minus is a huge thing. Like I know plus minus has always been a thing in like hockey and stuff, but I feel like it's becoming a thing in basketball more so now.
Oh, I love plus minus.
I love plus minus. Yeah, plus minus is great.
It just makes sense.
It does.
Out on the floor, if you're doing the plussing, it's better than doing the negativing.
You could have said minusing, and it would have sounded so much better. So since Jared is losing his mind, prize pick of the week. It's been an up and down week. Who do you have this week? Who deserves a shout out?
Who deserves a shout out? Well, because I went back to my high school roots this week, did some high school baseball. I'm going to give it to the guy that organized the 4th region tournament that I was covering at Nick Dennis Field at Western Kentucky. Mr. Chris Decker, he had retired, was South Warren's AD, in addition to other roles before that. Their first AD and their only AD for their first 10 years really got the athletics program going there, they've won a lot of state titles, a lot of region titles, and he was just back running the tournament. So it's good to catch up with him, know that he's enjoying his retirement a little bit. He got to get a little work in with all the rain delays and reschedule he had to deal with. So that's
Right.
mine.
Mine is not as sweet and nostalgic as yours. Mine is Lionel Messi, who the word is coming to, I think, Inter Miami in a year and a half in the MLS 2023. I know for most of our watchers, listeners, they're thinking, who gives a shit about the MLS? Number one, it's coming. Like, give it a chance. Soccer is good. I said it a few years ago, when Zlatan Ibrahimovic came and played for the Galaxy. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that quote. Played for the LA Galaxy. I'm like, hey, this guy is the most outrageous athlete on the planet. Like, and I love Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I think Messi is exactly what the MLS needs. He is arguably the most popular player of all time, with Ronaldo and Pele. Him coming over here, I think, adds that kind of legitimacy that the MLS has, but is just kind of like adding on, like, hey, this is the best player in this era. He's going to come wrap up his career here. I'm super excited about that.
I love that he's doing that. I just don't know if I agree with you that MLS is coming.
Gosh, man, I want it to so
Because
bad.
you look at the guys that have been here before: David Henry,
Right.
Thierry Henry,
Thierry.
David
His name's
Beckham.
Thierry.
Yeah, I was thinking
You were thinking
fast, man.
of
David Beckham, Thierry
yeah.
Henry. Shoot, who else has been here?
Zlatan's been
like you
here.
said.
Yeah, there have been a few. Yeah.
It's just, they've been around since what, 96?
Something like that.
season?
Yeah.
It's not picking up quite like the USFL is this year, where my Birmingham Stallions are 7-0. But I would love to see the MLS get massive.
Like, I think,
don't know if it will.
I'm super psyched St. Louis is getting a team. Nashville obviously has a team now. I think it's coming, man. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But
I hope so. We'll see.
We'll have
episode 9,000. We'll talk about it again.
Yeah, episode 9,000. Whenever there's Nashville's celebrating its first MLS Cup championship,
if they played for that, Nashville would be packed. Nashville shows up.
Like, I went to several games in St. Louis, and Peck says it's here. I agree with him. Nashville, Cincy, St. Louis. I would go to games in St. Louis. So, like, I've seen Manchester City, Chelsea, Inter Milan, and Real Madrid in St. Louis. And, like, I've seen games at Busch Stadium. I saw Chelsea play at Busch Stadium, and they had, like, parking lots blocked off for kids to play soccer. But St. Louis is a huge soccer city. We have actually a student at our at the high school that I taught at that plays for St. Louis Academy's team.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, but
I still don't know if I would say it's quote unquote here. Like, it's here and it's got its following, but it's not the same level as the NFL, the MLB, the NHL, even.
Well, yeah,
the NBA.
We're getting there. Well, I'm going to take this week to make Jared a believer that soccer is coming and is coming to the U.S. But thank you all for following along this week. Episode 12 of Meet the Press. We'll be back this week, Thursday, with our guest of the week. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Jared.